Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This is my top 10 stocks as we head into Monday, August 16th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you are somebody that uses charts within your decision-making process as a trader, or maybe you're just new and wanting to learn more about charts, how they can be used as a tool to make good decisions as a trader, then this will be a video for you. And then real quick before I get started, just keep in the back of your mind that as I go through the video and the content, if you're liking what you see and you do want to learn more about technical analysis and how you should be using them as a tool to build consistency as a trader, then I just want to personally invite you to get signed up for this free live class that I'm offering this upcoming week. If you're interested, if you're watching on YouTube, down in the description box, there's a link that you can click, or if you're watching at claytrader.com, there's an area that you can click on the page there that should be pretty visible. So like I said, just keep that in the back of your mind that if you're liking what you see, then I am offering this live class that I want you to get signed up for. First one here, ticker symbol WISH, which had a very crazy day today, a huge volume, and then with the gap down. But what makes this very interesting is the fact that you got to give credit where credit's due. The price did show some signs of strength after hitting that low right there. Basically spent the rest of the day working its way back upwards. But in my mind, there's two very well-defined areas that I think people are going to be watching next week. And the first area here that I think every short and long and everybody in between is going to be watching is that level there right at $7.30, which is important because you can see here that after the initial bounce upwards right there, the price did pull back, but just notice that after it pulled back, you can see it leveled off at 730 once there, made a move up, came back down, once again found support at 730. So the point here being that from a technical point of view, $7.30 is going to be a very, very watched level, and rightfully so. While nothing is guaranteed, it's certainly a more than valid and more than rational thought that if the price were to come down to 730 and break through there, you know that shorts are going to be watching that saying, you know, a break of there could very well send it back down below 7. And, you know, again, is that guaranteed to happen? No. Is that at least a rational thought process to have? Absolutely. And as traders, that's where charts are powerful because it's there to not guarantee anything, but to help us in making not random decisions. So 730, you know, by no means is some sort of random area. And then from the resistance standpoint, the key area to, let's try that again. Key area to watch is going to just be simply where the bounce basically stopped today, and that was up there at 785. So if this bounce is going to continue, 785 will be that main battleground. But in my mind, at least, that $7.30 mark, by far the most important level headed into Monday. Next one here, ticker symbol AMC. And as I've been tracking this one very, very closely, overall, another healthy day. Nothing exciting, nothing explosive, but again, healthy, meaning the price continues to just creep up more and more after this crazy move down here. Since then, it's just been a nice, like I said, nothing explosive, but just higher bases, and then you look at today, once again, higher bases. So that's the name of the game. And as I've talked about already, so for those of you that have watched past top 10 videos, this should sound familiar. But from the overarching standpoint, you're just going to want to continue to watch that green support line right there, which as of now, the price isn't even anywhere close to threatening there. In fact, as far as a kind of an ideal situation, meaning for Ask Clay, you know, ideally speaking, what would make this chart look the best and healthiest going forward? And that would be if the price can now stay above that purple line there. The 50-period moving average currently valued at, we'll call it $32.50. But let me be very clear, if the price falls below $32.50, that doesn't mean that everything's all of a sudden epically ruined, because again, you still do have this overall trend line down there. But yeah, certainly, preferably speaking, if the price can stay above $32.50, that would be best. And then as far as levels of resistance, nothing new here has changed. For those of you that have watched the past videos, you know exactly what I'm about to talk about, and it's all about that pink line there. The very well-known, the very famous 200-period moving average, which has now worked its value down to $34.85. So from a breakout and a resistance point of view, 3084 are going to be that public enemy number one headed into Monday. But overall, a very nice back half of the week as the price has just kind of slowly grinded back upwards. Next one here, just a crazy, crazy drama-filled chart here, SESN. And now things get extremely interested head into next week because of all the drama that just showed up. And from a trading perspective, traders like volatility. Drama brings volatility. And yeah, we have quite a bit of drama and volatility surrounding this one. So it's at least worth keeping an eye on. And in my opinion, the level that's going to be very revealing moving forward is this right here at the $1.20-ish mark. And the reason for that is, you know, obviously things got crazy, came all the way down here. But after that point, it's essentially just started to go straight up. So the valid question now going forward is, okay, I mean, is this so dramatic to the point where this thing's just going to recover? Or in other words, is this upwards movement right now, is there any sort of genuine power behind it? Is there any sort of genuine strength? And that's where $1.20 to me helps out a whole lot. And I'm not saying this will occur, but if the price were to come down to $1.20 and then just break down below it, well, what do you have at that point? Well, all of a sudden you'd have the price quite literally, well, right back to where it was, and not to insult your intelligence, but price movements that go back to where they were, Not exactly a sign of true power. However, you got to be fair. No price is just going to go straight up. So maybe the price comes down here, behaves like that, and then starts to curl back upwards. And at that point, what would you have? Well, you'd have a set of lows right there. You'd have that low right there. And if you envision those as stair steps, well, there you go. Now you have stair steps making progress in the upwards direction. And that's what you want to see. So for me, so much drama out there, but at the, if you boil it all down, I'm just curious. Yeah, nice move since, the gap down, basically straight up. But is there true power behind it? Let's just simply see if the thing can start to make progress. And I'm defining quote unquote progress as that $1.20 mark. Next one here, ticker symbol NAOV, and a rough day on this one. Depending on your strategy, what do I mean by that? Well, if you're some sort of day trader, scalper, whatever you're going to call yourself, then yeah, this morning price actually came up here, got the break through that trend line, which I talked about previously, and made a nice move up to there. So a potential scalp trade. But if you're somebody that was looking for a bigger type of movement, and rightfully so. I mean, it's not like you were irrational for looking for a bigger type movement, and you got it temporarily. It was looking great, but then now, don't get me wrong. It's not like things have to go straight up, but this right here, I mean, just basically a crash. I mean, it just kept going. And in fact, not only did it go down to that area of support, it's broken through there. And not only did it go through there, it's also broken down through that purple line right there, which is the very well-known, very famous 50-period moving average. And now it's closing all the way down there. So a very, very just, a great example of why risk management matters, because things can be looking so great, and then just like that, I mean, crazy how much is just turned around like that. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of those lines right now. Now, maybe you're not even in this one. So from a pullback perspective, things could get very interesting down here around this 245 mark, or if you want to be a little bit more conservative on any sort of pullback play, then that pink line right there, again, the 200-period moving average, valid at $2.30, could be an interesting pullback location if you want to try to play some sort of bounce. But yeah, like I said, anybody buying that breakout, you were not irrational at all. And scalpers did fine with it, but if you were looking for a bigger move, that just, how it happens sometimes. But yeah, what a savage move. Got the breakout and then just completely rolled back over. Next one here, ticker symbol BOXL, and I really like this one just because it's a very straightforward area that a lot of people will be watching. So in these next comments, I'm not trying to come across like this is a great discovery on my part or that I have some sort of special talent to have seen this. The exact opposite. I assure you, people that use charts, understand charts, are watching this exact same level. And I bring that up because call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want. When certain levels are being watched and everybody's wondering the same thing, like I said, self-fulfilling prophecy, whatever you want to call it, it can definitely, play out. And that's where $2.40 is coming into play. Very well-defined, very clear area of support, resistance. You can see right there, price got up there, rejected. Tried again right there and rejected back down. So as I've said and will continue to repeat, while nothing is guaranteed, it is more than valid, more than rational to think that if the price can recover back up to that area and then get the breakout through there, that break in and of itself could very well create quite a bit of upwards buying pressure. So you're going to definitely want to keep an eye on 240. And then if the price can push up through there, next level of resistance up around the 255 mark. As far as areas of support are concerned, level here that stands out to me going to be that area, or that trend line, I should call it, right there. So keep an eye on that if you're somebody that likes to play more of a pullback type situation. But all in all, big gap up today, big volume. Yes, it's pulled back some, but within the bigger of context of things, this could still very realistically be a good, healthy consolidation where this thing's just getting ready to turn back around and get up through 240. So we'll see what happens with it on Monday and Tuesday of next week. Next one here, ticker symbol PLTR, and almost kind of a case of deja vu here in terms of why am I putting this one on? Well, for that exact same conversation of self-fulfilling prophecies and a lot of people watching the same exact level. And I mean, again, no special talents on my end. I assure you, all sorts of people are watching that $25 mark as that key resistance breakout point. You can see it showed up both on Thursday and then today, Friday morning, Friday afternoon, price got around there and could never quite push through it. So while nothing is guaranteed, more than valid. Like I said, I realize I'm repeating myself here, but if the price were to come up to 25 and get the breakthrough there, it's rational to think that break could create quite a bit of upwards buying pressure. And then the other interesting part is, the price has just slowly been creeping back upwards. You look at where that low was, and then you look at where that low was, and then this afternoon you look at where that low was. So you have some kind of little miniature stair steps right here. So, it's definitely an interesting setup. It's just, like I said, that is the big elephant in the room right now. The big question mark is all about $25. Can the price get the break up through it? We'll see what happens. Next one here, ticker symbol SNDL, and a massively disappointing day. I mean, there's no need to really try to sugarcoat anything. I mean, you factor in how things closed on Thursday. Very, very impressive move up, and then just like that, gap down, and then it's not like it gapped down and then recovered. Nope, did the exact opposite, gap down, and then just kept bleeding and bleeding and bleeding. So like I said, when you factor in the context of how the market closed on Thursday, and then you look at how it behaved here on Friday, just a brutal day, and it's now bringing the chart down to some levels that have not been seen for quite a while. But just to quickly map out more so kind of the overall area, and I'm just kind of drawing this in a crude sense just to kind of illustrate the idea here. But overall, very clear, the downtrend continues. And although, again, to circle back to Thursday was very interesting because it was approaching that trend line. So going into today, more than valid to think, hey, is the trend line break finally going to show up? And nope, once again, the trend line just shoved the price right back down. And as you're seeing here, it has been quite a while since the price has been down around this area of the chart. I guess I didn't need to go back that far. But the next key level of support to now watch moving forward as this movement continues in the downwards direction, going to be right down there around the 71 cent mark. And you can see 71 cents was, last came into play back there in late May. So, I mean, we're talking about multi-month lows now that the price could be headed to. But yeah, very, very disappointing. Not just a question of, okay, if it does head down to 71 cents, can it hold? And that'll all, remain to be seen next week. But yeah, like I said, no need to beat around the bush. Just not a good way to end the week. Next one here, ticker symbol BIOL. A whole lot of volume today and good solid gap up. A bit of perspective goes into this. I mean, if you're a day trader and you bought right there, or you bought, right there, and your plan was to buy and sell within 10 minutes, well, then yeah, from that perspective, the chart's not looking very good at all. But from the overall, viewpoint of things, it's hanging in there. And yeah, it's pulled back, but maybe this is just some sort of healthy pullback, and we have ourselves a nice pattern here that's been drawn. So let's first just get the resistance portion of the pattern put into play right there. And then in my mind, the level of support that makes the most sense, going to be down there at 75 cents. And then just to make this pattern the most, let me draw in what would be known as the pull portion. There is the resistance, and then we have our support. And then for you golfers out there, let me put the golf hole down there. So we have a bull pennant pattern, and that'll be really kind of the overarching dynamic here head into next week. But again, for you I understand that if you're a day trader and you bought right there, and you want to buy and sell in, 5 seconds, well then yeah, for me calling this a bull pattern, like, what are you talking about a bull pattern? I'm way down. Well, and I understand where you're coming from, but I'm not talking about this from the vantage point, like I said, of a day trader that bought right there. I'm talking about from more of a general standpoint. So yes, I understand that the price has pulled back, but the nice thing from a volume analysis standpoint is that as the price has pulled back, volume has dropped off quite a bit, which is exactly what you want to see from a consolidation standpoint. To be fair, maybe this is the beginning of the end. Maybe this thing is just going to continue to bleed and bleed and bleed, but that's where 75 cents will be a good kind of leading indicator in terms of whether or not there's any sort of true healthy consolidation that's going to take place or not. But we'll see what happens with it on Monday and see if it can actually get a turnaround and get up through that trend line. Well, a very nice way to end the week here on AMD. And you can see right here, just a beautiful pattern. Got the surge upwards. So it's really starting. Now, there's more work that needs to be done, and I'll show that here. But, you can't really draw up a better end of the week than this. Big surge up. Then, as I just talked about from a volume analysis standpoint, during consolidation, you can see right there, volume dropped off quite a bit. So the level here that a whole lot of people are going to be watching, rightfully so. I mean, it's definitely going to be the main breakout area. In fact, let me squeeze this down just to make sure I'm not. Yeah, there we go. Main area definitely to watch. Keep a close eye on, which did it hit it today? Did not. Got very close. Right up there at $112. You can see, like I said, today got somewhat close right there. But if you look back through the history, you can see 112 has, been a thorn in the side of the chart. But like I said, very nice pattern here. And, so again, guarantees? No. Is it rational to think that this pattern could eventually, produce a test of 112 and a potential breakup through there? Yeah, absolutely. So keep a close eye on 112 here moving forward in terms of breakout areas. And then from a support standpoint, you really have everything kind of back in your favor. And you have now the price back above the 50-period moving average, which is sloping upwards. You have the price back above the 200-period moving average, sloping upwards in your favor. So like I said, today was a very good end of the week because it really shifted from a technical point of view, a lot of things, back in the bulls' favor. So it'll be interesting to see if this momentum and bullishness can continue into next week. Next one here, ticker symbol RKT, and overall, very nice day today. And what I like about this one is there is no longer any sort of worries of, okay, am I chasing the price? Is FOMO, fear of missing out, getting me? And some people, yeah, they did. There's people that were buying up here, and now this weekend they're going to have to sit through this pullback and wonder, uh-oh, did I just buy the top or what's going on? But if you're still watching, the price has pulled back. So from, like I said, that viewpoint of, I don't know, am I chasing? Am I buying the top? Well, no. I mean, no, that doesn't mean that it's going to, recover back upwards. But at this point, you do have a nice strong move. You do have a nice little pullback here. So, from that angle of things, puts, the risk reward a little bit more in people's favor. For me, though, and maybe you would totally disagree, 1885 seems to be more of an interesting area for a potential pullback, because what I'm thinking is, if the price were to come down here and then just stabilize anywhere around there, what would that be giving you? Well, in a very crude sense, you'd have a resistance that looks something like that. You'd have a support that looks like that. And then to draw that down, we'd have what would be known as a bull flag pattern, which would be a nice little technical setup there. So, keep an eye on the 1885 mark. But who knows? Maybe you're saying, no, Clay, I feel comfortable. I think this pullback has already pulled back enough. And in that regard, hey, that's your personal risk tolerance. You need to do what you feel most comfortable with. And then from a resistance side of things, very straightforward. That 1950 mark presented quite a few challenges throughout the course of the day. So keep an eye on that. But if the price can work its way back up there and get the breakout through there, that could very well cause, that much more of momentum continuation. But certainly a very interesting setup headed into Monday. And that wraps up the top 10. And again, I just want to personally invite you, if you did like what you heard and you want to learn more about charts, how they should be used, how they should not be used, why they do work, and how they are a great tool to build consistency as a trader, like I said, get signed up for the class. And then as far as this top 10 video is concerned, if you do enjoy this format and you would like for me to continue to structure videos in this way, then please communicate that to me by doing two very easy and quick things. Hit the like button, leave a comment down below, even if it's just saying hi. But hitting the like button and leaving a basic comment communicate to me that it is worth the time and effort to put these videos together. And as long as I know that I'm not wasting my time with these, then I have no problem doing them at all. Like I said, just need some feedback from you as viewers. And like I said, little things like hitting the like button and leaving a comment just truly do go a long way, and letting me know whether or not I should continue with certain videos or not. And then again, like I said, if you want to learn more about charts, then I want you to get signed up for this free live class next week. And if you have any questions on it, just let me know. But completely free, so get signed up for it. Hopefully everybody had a great week, and if you didn't, hey, that's okay. You can't be green every week, but just realize that next week is a new week. And yeah, everybody have a great weekend.